Hey guys, Jay here. So in this video, I want to share with you guys a little bit of findings, and I think this might be a new tech to try and build around the culling strike threshold. So recently, there are quite a few people I know. The first one that I saw is Kautorak. I think he got the idea from someone else, but I think the first one I saw was Kautorak. He plays with his Witch Hunter, a crossbow character, and then recently I saw Kingpin Uwu from Miso X Shiru stream. He showed me the Kingpin Uwu's video on the Culling Strike build, and he actually do Bone Shatter and just do no damage, but just explode the whole screen with Culling Strike. So I think it's very cool, and well, I kind of want to make it work with a couple more things. The first thing, Black Powder Blitz. There's a problem with Black Powder Blitz, and well, you know what? Let me just actually mention the tech first. So there are two ways that you can actually call enemies immediately. So the two ways is you either call enemy at 100% health, or if you are a blood mage in this case and you curse an enemy, which you can do with blasphemy, by the way, you will reserve their life to 85% only. So that means you no longer have to reach 100% cold. You can actually do 85%. And what is the difference between these two numbers? To reach 100% cold on white monster, by the way, you will need to, because the cold threshold by default is 30%, you will need to actually have this number times 100. You will need to have more than 233.3% increased cold threshold. So the value is 234%. This is actually achievable, but there is a drawback to it. Achievable here means you need to actually have the maximum amount of like juice to cold threshold. So I need to have this cold threshold nodes over here. I need to have the time loss jewel to get the increased node wall and increased small passive effect from the jewel here. And this is very hard to do. You just buy it from the market pretty much. You cannot realistically craft it. Sure, maybe if you want to chaos spam until you get it, you can get it. But you know, I saw not a lot of it. So this will just improve all the culling threshold in here from 5% to 6%. And this 25% is going to become 30%, like this, right? So this is 18% and this is 30%. So 18, let me just clear everything, 18% plus 30%. Now we have 48. From the skill tree, what else can we get? We can get 20% from Tandem Assault, 20% Culling Strike Threshold, so plus 20, 68. On the skill tree, we can also use a Heart of the Well. This can roll up to 25% Culling Strike Threshold, so plus 25. This is pretty easy to get, right? And we also have 121 from here on my helmet. We actually, the maximum amount of Culling Strike threshold we can get here is 122, but 121 is going to be enough. So plus 121. Now you can see, compared to the number we got before, which is 234, we are lacking of 20% cold threshold. And the only way that you can get the rest of it, the 20% currently in the game, is through the use of Culling Strike 2, which is the way that a lot of people already use if they care about just culling enemies like at 100% life. If you are okay with culling enemies at, say, let me say 30 times 2.14, if you want to cull enemy, I mean plus 30, because you need to multiply by the plus 1 on the base value. So if you want to cull enemy at 94.2% health, that is okay. You don't need this. But if you want to do 100%, which means you do something that deals basically 0 damage and you still cull an enemy, you will need to use the Culling Strike support here. So this is the way that most people have been using if they want to do so. However, there is another way to do that, and it is with the Blood Mage. This is with the node that nobody uses. Whisper of the Flesh. Enemies you curse have at least 15% of life reserved, so therefore they will only have 85% life, and therefore 85% life. Now let's clear here. 85% life. If you divide it by 30, which is the base number, and then you minus 1 because that is the base number you get anyway, and now you times 100 because it is in percent. So 184%. 184. This is the new number of increased culling strike threshold that we will need. Sorry for non-Asian viewers if you died from watching the previous part. My apologies. Anyway, 184%. That is much more achievable, and basically that will allow you to actually cull everything with nothing. With you could just cull enemies with basically nothing. You can punch and you will cull an enemy. Is there any way that I can just it's too full. I cannot remove anything, right? So here, you can see I can do it with the Black Blitz, Black Powder Blitz, the jump from the Shankgonne boots over here. Normally people will use this one to detonate the grenade. So you throw a grenade and you jump and it will detonate all the grenade. But you cannot really realistically use it to deal damage, to clear, because it is bugged very heavily at the moment. There's no way that you can scale the damage to a point where you can comfortably clear maps. Even non-juice map tier 15 is going to be like impossible. I know because I tried it. I know because I saw Miso X Shiru also tried it and failed because it is bugged again. So this is what you can do, right? This is one of the things you can do. The second thing that you can kind of do is do things like this. This is what is this? This is the lightning warp. So enemies that are on cold threshold, you can just blink to it. And there's another version of physical lightning warp, which is the one that I am more interested in, which is this one. His vile intrusion. And you can just basically blink to an enemy and yeah, just basically clean up everything around it. So it looks very cool, right? So these are the things you can actually do now. You are not limited to certain skill archetype with the attack tag to actually put the culling strike into the setup and get 100% cull. If you play as a blood mage, you can just get this node and you can cull enemies much more easily, right? So that is the tech that I want to share. And again, this is not a build. I'm still testing with a lot of things. You know, since we're here, let me just show you something else. So I kind of want to play around with this thing as well. Right? I kind of want to play around with this thing as well. This is something that I really want to play with. But it is, yeah, it is slightly hard to see. Maybe it is going to be easier to see if I can find like a bigger pack of monster. Okay, this is perfect. This is perfect. Cool. Okay, so I want to kill some enemies. And then it will spawn the toads over here. And it will kill and it will spawn more toads. And it will just like continuously, basically just continuously spawn more toads. And these toads is going to cull more enemies. Enemies die. They can just spawn more toads. And yeah, they just clean up everything. So I think it is a pretty cool thing. It'll be very funny to look at. I think this, you know what, this map actually does not really do the justice for the toad. The toad looks very funny, at least to me. So this map, the background is a little bit too gray, so you cannot really see the toads go right like that. They just jump around and they randomly do damage to nearby enemies. It is decent amount of damage if you really want to scale the damage. However, if you want to not scale a lot of damage and build maybe like a tanky AFK character, for example, then maybe, just maybe, that is going to be a choice. So I am looking into this and I will apply it to another, let me just, you know what, let me just go to another zone and maybe, you know what, let's just go to this zone. This zone, the Sandsweep or Sandswept Marsh. Very clean, white background. So we can actually, you know, see the toads. How I was able to jump here repeatedly is because I was using I am using the temporalis, so I can just jump like with no cooldown. I, I need to find a lot of monster. I need to find a lot of monster. Or else I would just kill everything like immediately, right? Okay. This pack and the toad is going to kill more, and this toad is going to kill this one, and if it spawn another toad, that is stuck, so it does not kill this one. But you know, you can get the idea, right? I think this can create like a chain reaction to clean up everything very, very quickly. So this can be a very, very good thing to add into a AFK Simulacrum character, because if you think about it, the only core item that is needed actually does not does not take the same slot as a core item for like an AFK Simulacrum character, because technically this is only here for the blink. If we don't play with this cooldown skills, then we don't need a temporalis, and we can just use the recoup body armor, and yeah, we can just make like an AFK character. But if we stack culling strike, that basically take care of all the damage. Obviously, the helmet is a little bit overlap, but I don't think the helmet for the recoup build is actually like mandatory, because it shifts a part of the damage. So technically, what it provides is just a little bit of damage mitigation. And if we are tankier, just like 10% tankier, we don't need that 10% damage reduction, right? So yeah, that is everything I want to share with you guys in this video today. So thanks for watching. A lot of rambling, a lot of math, a lot of experiment that is not done. But you know, I think this is really, really damn cool. This is the fun in the game for me. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Probably it's going to be a character with this concept. And yeah, peace.